down the what was it, the communism, and he brought down all these, he ended the Cold War. I don't know. Does he deserve one on his own? What about there's so many heroes who I could think might deserve it as well. I'm not trying to take away from King, but I'm saying if we're going to lower the bar to just great Americans along the way, I can think of other ones, and what is the threshold, and then they get mad at Arizona because they didn't adapt. Remember that? They didn't adapt Martin Luther King Day. Yeah. And then they're like, "Oh, you're a bunch of racists," and then you just say, "Okay, this is not fun anymore." In other words, if you don't play, then it just becomes political, right? Then you're name called and you're trashed and demonized. I mean, come on, I'm starting to see that Arizona is like a state that's very maverick. Mm-hmm. They don't really care what the rest of the country does. They don't really care. They just have their own way of doing it, and I'm starting to respect them more and more.
Sarah Palin invoked the blood libel this past week, saying that she was a victim of the blood libel.
She was.
So are you as a Jew offended that Sarah Palin invoked the blood libel?
As a Jew?
Yeah.
Why? Why would it matter if I was a Jew?
Could you say, blood libel, that term only applies to us Jews who are accused of having blood on our hands for killing Jesus.
No, it was exactly the same thing.
Non-Jews can't use
No, that's bullshit. It was a one-for-one. It was exactly the same. They implicated her as somehow being an accessory to murder, right? Based on things that she had said. And by the way, the whole thing was bullshit because the Democrats use the same language. You can go on their website, on dnc.org, or if they've already taken it down, you can go on one of those web time machines and just search on dnc.org, and it's called, I forgot the name of it. And they did a chart, and there was actually a target. I think it was
the Democrats plenty of times have done.
They had targets on 2004. It was in 2004 when they were having the election, Kerry and Bush, and they targeted certain states. So these are the states we need to win, and they put a target on it. This is not something that she came up with. Come on, people are giving her way too much credit. You think she's original enough to come up with the target? She didn't come up with that. That's old. The Democrats did it. But you don't see the Democrats, you don't see the lamestream media, blasting the Democrats when something happens. And it's hypocritical, and it's stupid, and it's reprehensible. And she has every right. And you want to know the proof? I just saw this. Are you ready for this? You can look this up if you haven't seen this. I just saw this. This is unbelievable. The latest news is, it was 19 people shot last week, right? Mm-hmm. One of those 19 who is out of the hospital has been arrested.
Yeah, he went to a Tea Party rally and
he was arrested. One of the victims, look it up on the internet. One of the victims of the 19 who got shot is already behind bars. Why? Mm-hmm. Because why? Because they threatened to kill the head of the Tea Party in Tucson. Where did that come from? It came from that sheriff, that reprehensible sheriff dipshit. What's his name? Doofus? Dupnik? Who duped America, and apparently, right after the murders, told the whole world, right? It came from a news conference. Right, they're trying to find out the details of what happened, and he's already blaming the right wing. It's a vast right-wing conspiracy, right? It's reprehensible what he did. So he accused, listen to this, he accused conservatives of whipping up emotions so some nutbag would follow up on it and act upon it, which it didn't happen. But he himself whipped up emotions so some nutbag was going to go after the Tea Party guy. So he's guilty of doing that which he accused other people of doing. This guy is disgusting. He is an accessory to murder. This guy's horrible. I think he's the worst American right now. This year he's going to win worst American. This guy needs to be deported. He has single-handedly created so much hate and whipped up so much a climate of intolerance on his own. just in 1 week. Unbelievable. And he literally got this guy arrested for following on this. Unbelievable.
Did you have anything else from last week?
No, but I did want to talk about something that was on your website this week, if you don't mind. You had a rapper.
Yeah, the Jewish rapper, Eitan G.
I would not call... Jewish rap is a oxymoron, okay? The only thing that's more embarrassing than rap is Jewish rap. It is freaking embarrassing. I can't watch or listen to it. It is so embarrassing to listen to and watch. There is nothing worse than that. It's so irritating. The word, first of all, rap music is an oxymoron. This stuff is garbage. It's all garbage, and I don't care how popular it is because it sucks. It all sucks. You can have your own opinion. You don't have to say anything. Just let me. It all sucks. It's always sucked. It's not music. But the worst of it is when Jews, especially Jews who purport to be from, adopt this garbage and try to do it because it looks god awful. It looks and sounds god awful. All right?
Do you think that it leads to sexual promiscuity, listening to Jewish rap music?
I don't think anybody can make it through to the end of the song.
A lot of people love it.
I don't know how.
A lot of people hum to it.
Oh my God, it's disgusting. Okay, now.
I think it arouses the animal passions.
I want to tell you something. You had this guy on.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't watch your interview.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't watch your interview or something. I saw that on your Facebook, one of my friends, right, who might even be in the chat room now, I don't know, said, is this the guy who was on the Chabad telethon and got kicked off?
Yeah.
And you said yes. And I watched that live. Did you watch it that night?
No.
I happened to watch it. This was years ago. Do you know what year that was by any chance?
That was 6 years ago?
No, it had to be more than
ago?
that. I think
10?
I stopped watching it.
10 years ago?
Like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You have to get the context to understand this. I don't think any Frummy had ever, to my knowledge, done rap before.
Mm-hmm.
At that point. Like now it's like, these rapping rabbis come a dime a dozen. They all suck and they're all embarrassing. Right? I don't think anybody had ever tried this shit before, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And like the Chabad telethon used to be pretty decent. They had more Chab and David on it. I think they had Avraham Fried on it before. I mean, they had like real talented musicians. This guy creeped onto the show somehow. I'm watching the show, and this guy gets up and they give him the mic.
Doing the hamotzi.
Oh God, this was god awful. It was horrible. It was enough. It actually made. It was so bad that I want to tell you something. I'm just barely hanging in watching Chabad telethons because I'm not a big Chabad fan, right? But this was so bad that it made all my problems with Chabad go away, and all I cared about was get this guy off the stage. This is for freaking embarrassing. This guy's on stage, and he's like, I'm going to be a rap guy. Blah, 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 blah. And he's like, making a motzi, making a motzi, making a motzi. And the guy has like no fucking talent whatsoever, right? And the guy's just god-awful. And I was just like, stop, just stop. Get this guy off the stage. I mean, like, okay, I was in comedy for years, right? I've played clubs and everything. I have seen, like, people who get on stage who aren't funny. And they freaking can't be funny, right? And they're going to have, like, 15 minutes. And it's just painful because nobody's laughing, right? It's just like minute after minute goes by, and you can hear like a pin drop in the club because like you're not funny. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, hit them with the red light. You know what that means? The red light? There's a light in the back of the room, right? And they flash it when you have like a minute or 3 minutes left, depending on the club and how much time you're on, right? And it's to let you know, finish up this joke, get your big applause, and get off the stage, right? The show is over. We got to get to the next comic. We have, whatever. But if a person sucks, just hit them with the red light as soon as possible. Get them off the stage. You're killing the show. Mm-hmm. This guy was literally killing the show. Right? It didn't take more than 15 seconds. This guy was out there. He was just god-awful. Like, what is this? And, like, Coonan, right, who runs the show, right, had the same thought I did, obviously. And it was like, we got to get this off. And he just, like, was polite and